Former cheaters of Reddit, how were you caught by your significant other? I've been cheated on and cheated with but never cheated. Each time the cheater just fessed up and told the truth. Except my 6th grade boyfriend, Chris. I found out from everyone else in my middle school that he made out with some skank at the movie that he had invited me to, but I was busy. FCKU. Chris. Totally over it though. I forgot to go back and mark the episodes as unwatched. 20ish years ago I caught my ex. Not F-king. But in bed with another guy. On Valentine's Day. With a dozen roses in my hand. What a F-king CNT. Fighting would get you kicked out of college. So I told the much smaller guy once I saw him off campus. I'd kill him. 15 years and worlds later. I'm at an engagement party at a bar. And some friends come up and tell me the guy over there is scared shitless of me and thinks I'm going to kill him. I look over and couldn't stop laughing. It was so far in the past. But for some reason that guy remembered it like I had sworn an oath to avenge my family. It felt good. His fear was redemption enough. As someone whose girlfriend is spending a month in Europe, I should not have opened this thread. Don't watch Taken. Short story. Sorry for the writing, I did my best lol. Go to gym. No headphones. That's cool. House is 5 minutes away. Pull up and see work buddy's car out front. Walk in house through open garage. Sun coloring at kitchen table. Ask him, hey bud, where's your mom? Full stop. He points at the stairs. Walk to stairs, hear moans and movement. Up to this point I had suspected but never had proof. Knew I had to go look and catch her or she would say I was overreacting and tell me it wasn't what I thought. Walk upstairs and hear them in spare bedroom. Walk in room and say, well, this is awkward. They freak out and try to grab cloths and tell me nothing is happening. I walk out to car and have ex-buddy chase me out and tell me to hit him. I go to my command. I'm in the military. The next day. Report him and have the command force him to call his wife that day and let her know. I am now divorced and much happier. I caught my ex when we were both standing in the examining room. Getting his UT treatment. Doc came in and said gonorrhea. He lied for a whole 2-3 months, I imagine. Even lied about how he got it. Tried convincing me he swiped his penis in some mystery fluids in a gas station toilet. What the FCK? When he realized I wasn't F-king stupid. He tried to drink random bottles on the doctor's shelf. He started hitting himself. He fell on his knees sobbing and tried grabbing my hands and begging for me not to leave. He threatened murder-suicide that entire night. And assaulted me for close to 9 hours when I was trying to pack my bags to leave. He choked me in the driveway. I just spoke out his sentencing this Thursday. He is a convicted felon now. I hope he's grown from this. Smiling at my cell phone too much. My parents thought I was dating someone once. Had to explain I was just using Reddit. My fiancé registered sign left me 2 days before Christmas. She told me she need to move out and get space. That she was moving to her friend's house. This went on for a week. Until. Because we have a family Apple plan. I looked up a location. And she was not at her friend's house. I'm now a single dad of a 1-year-old and she's moving out west with him. Merry Christmas. Edit. Wow, thank you so much everyone for all the kind hope and advice. It's hard right now but I know it will get better. It is too. My life is dedicated to my little guy. Thank you for the love. It really hits the spot on this crappy F-king month. Edit 2. Thank you for the gold. I've never gotten it before. Thank you so much everyone. I really do feel like I'm floating in water. But you all have thrown me a life raft of hope and I really do appreciate it. My dad was recently caught cheating on my mom after 27 years. While using his laptop, my mom noticed Facebook said hello Mike Long. Can we log you back in? My sweet mom still had no idea he was cheating. Until my teenage sister broke it to her that he's using a fake account. That only opened a whole other world of nasty surprises. Love you, Dad. But I also hate you. It happened to a friend of mine. We were all on vacation, about 7 friends, and everybody was drinking. We were the only 2 who didn't. He managed to snag his girlfriend's phone while she was passed out and pulled me to the side. He said she's cheating on me. Some guy named Joey texting her and meeting her after work for sex every day. Plus how he can make her extra wet. We ended up searching names and mutual friends via Facebook. Turned out Joey was a girl. Hey babe. Your friend Joey is really cute. I think if I ever thought of a 3-way, it would be with her. Worst case, break up anyway. While at uni I walked on an argument between my GF and her housemate as the housemate shouted, "At least I'm not a WH Ray who sleeps with everyone when she goes home." Turned out she was sleeping around. Try not to suck any dicks on the way to the parking lot. Edit. I caught my boyfriend of 2 years. He had asked me to proofread his paper on his Mac and the text messenger popped up in the right hand. He was sitting in his bed texting some girl goodnight I love you while sitting right next to me in his bed. I deleted his entire paper. Wrote who's Marissa? Saved it and told him it looks great and left. She was his girlfriend of 8 years who lived next to his parents 2 hours away. I would not have been able to maintain my composure like that, lol. Maybe late to the game here. But when I was at college we had this campus Twitter account that people would post pictures of random people caught making out at parties too. I signed into her Google account to check her emails. She forgot her password so I had to reset it. I checked her Google Maps history and her most recent visits were at my best friend's house while I was away for work. Was on a break with my girlfriend at the time. Got a text from a girl that had mutual friends with and knew each other kind of well. Started having dirty conversation. Talking about sleeping together. Etc. Turns out my girlfriend at the time had gotten a burner phone with a different number and was the one sending me the texts the whole time. She was not pleased. Edit. She did not like pina coladas, so it was a total bust from the start. It's not cheating if you cheat on your GF with her GF. That awkward moment when you're both dating for 7 months and then you both find each other on Tinder close to your 8-month mark. It was kind of hilarious because we both were like, that kinda checks out. Wanna see other people? And so we both broke up but still stayed friends and kept our friend group together even till today. DR found each other on Tinder close to our 8-month mark. Decided to just be friends again. Not me. But how I discovered my high school girlfriend was cheating on me. She told me for my birthday. My ex-girlfriend cheated on me while I was in basic training. I was allowed to call on my birthday. Being madly in love, I used it to call my girlfriend who was pregnant with our daughter. I remember the conversation as if it were yesterday. Hello. Me. Hey babe. I miss you. How are you doing? Okay. I have someone who wants to talk to you. New boyfriend. Hey man. Don't worry about her. I am taking good care of her. Me. Oh. Okay. May I talk to her? New boyfriend. Sure. Here she is. What? Me. This is bullshit. Slamming down the receiver for the phone. Close bracket. Apparently I echoed. I received a letter from her that day with her telling me she had a miscarriage. Which later found to be a lie. I strongly recommend a DNA test. I forgot I gave her an extra key. It wasn't me. Not me. But my buddy. He is such a great guy and yet has been cheated on by every girl he has ever dated. First girl apparently gets so blackout drunk that she can't tell who is who because after going to a party one night ended up telling my friend that they should have bathtub sex like they did the other night. Only he had never had bathtub sex. Second girl dumps him because she was convinced he was cheating on her. After swearing up and down that he wasn't. He finally asked why she was so convinced. He's a great guy and would never even give the slightest reason for her to be suspicious. She told him that she had been cheating so he had to have been too. Third girl that he is currently with his best friends with her most recent ex, as in still goes on best friend dates. And she still lives with and is friends with her ex-boyfriend. It is apparent to everyone but him that he is getting cheated on. He really is just so sweet and naive. Advertised myself on Craigslist casual encounters and her brother-in-law found me on there. It wasn't until some time later I questioned what he was doing in there also. Got exposed through Facebook after advertising myself on Craigslist casual encounters. My entire family, friends and of course girlfriend all got screenshots of pictures and messages that I had sent. Needless to say I don't do that anymore. We were about 6 months into living together and already mutually feeling like it may not last. Came home from work one day and saw her sitting on the couch with a guy who was wearing her nightie. A pink nightie. Drinking coffee. I said oh. Hey. I walked by them. Got a beer. And joined them in the living room. So. What's going on here? I asked. This is Paul. We just met at the bike shop, she said. And it looks like you slept together. I said. Yes. She said. And Paul then introduced himself. And somehow we got to talking. In a matter of a few minutes Paul and I ended up going to the store. Got more beer and hung out at the bike shop. Became good friends. Neither of us were interested in the gal anymore. Good times. Buddy of mine was cheating on his wife with a cam girl. They were a very religious church-going couple in their 20s. The cam girl blackmailed him for $500 US. Or she would send it to his entire friends list. Wife. Parents. Grandma. Pastor. He paid her off. When she asked for $500 more he confessed. He still sent the videos. It was pretty crazy for a while. The wife was considering a divorce until she got pregnant. They worked things out. And things are all good now. The guy really turned around and became a much better person. Mate was caught by his wife leaving her tablet on record when she went to work. Parked up the road and waited. Then walked in mid-flow and called the cops saying there was a burglar in the house which she'd cornered. My iPhone synced to her roommate's laptop revealing a treasure trove of nudes I had saved in my camera roll. Years later iPhones now ask you if you want to trust a computer you're charging from. Other than just syncing. Back in the day Snapchat used to tell you the top 3 friends if any of your friends. I saw that I was number 1. Her best friend was number 3. And some dude co-worker was number 2. I later logged into her Voxer account and was able to hear conversations between her and said dude where she'd say things like she can't wait to run her hand through his hair and then the pinnacle when he asked her if his just tasted different after drinking pineapple Monster Energy drink. She said she doesn't usually taste it and just swallows it and that she'll have to pay more attention next time. Confronted her and she's telling me I'm taking it out of context. Yay. Cause that's normal conversation between male and female co-workers. OP looking for advice on how to avoid getting caught cheating. I saw she had a different brand of condoms than I use in her bag. I checked her phone when she was in the shower and confirmed it. When I cheat, I don't use condoms for that reason. We went out and when the bar closed I decided it was time for me to go home. She and a few friends decided to go clubbing. Next morning I woke up in an empty bed. Directly to voicemail when I tried to call her. Started to worry and decided to track her phone. It was located in a hotel. I called and asked for her room. I was transferred to the room and a guy picked up. I'm still recovering from it and the fact that we share the same friends. We all met in college, and that I get to see her every now and then doesn't help at all. Walked into our room and saw him on top of my ex. Just stared at him and said, "That's not me in our bed." She left me for him. In where she cheated on him with her now husband. Worked out great for me. I lost over 100 pounds. I'm starting grad school. And I married the most amazing woman. My ex-fiancée and I lived together and worked weird hours. She worked at a drugstore. I was a barista. She had been hanging out with her boss a lot lately. Mostly just stuff at work and going out in groups. One day I got sent home early and wanted to surprise her. Bought dinner and flour. I am not the cheater that would be my husband. I was looking at the credit card statements for like the first time ever because I just had a niggling feeling. I found some sketchy charges including cell phone bills, a hotel room and some other weird stuff. I confronted my husband and I'm going to be honest, I bought whatever bullshit he fed me because I didn't want to believe he was cheating. Unbeknownst to him I added some extensions to Chrome on his account. One day about a month after the weird credit card bill was found I was on the phone with him and he managed to guilt me enough that I felt bad for not trusting him. So I went up to uninstall the extensions because I was going to work on trusting him. Yeah, well, rather than uninstalling them I discovered so much cheating. Going back for years. Alternate emails. A fake name. Craigslist account. Facebook just so much. 4 years and at least 8 women. My advice is that if you're feeling like something sketchy is going on, don't let them make you feel shitty for asking. My GF had my baby. You didn't notice the pregnancy? The guy she cheated on me with contacted me with pictures of her saying she wanted to do bad things with him. He went to her house and all they did was make out. Then he saw I was messaging and calling her non-stop because she hadn't spoken to me for 2 days prior. He was genuinely a decent guy and she FK'd me over. Of course I took her back and tried to fix things because I felt like it was my fault. We just ended up fighting all the time and I ended it a week ago. I knew my fiancée had cheated on me. Knew the night it happened. But she kept lying to me and I knew it was going to continue. Ended up confirming it by going through her IMs on her laptop. I knew it was over the moment I violated that trust. But at least I walked away knowing I had been faithful. Bonus point due to the fact that the IM that exposed her was the new guy apologizing for lasting less than 2 minutes in bed. They ended up getting married and divorced. Never physically cheated, but emotionally did. Connected on an emotional level with my old coworker, who I had met years before we had started working in the same place together. My ex went through my phone and saw texts where we were talking about non-work related stuff, an event where my co-worker had been date raped, and also late night phone calls between the two of us when we finished work to either talk about work or some random thing. Always non-sexual talk. Anyhow, it didn't go down well with my ex, and we broke up shortly thereafter as a result. It sucked. I still miss my ex pretty much all the time. But I FK'd up so can never fault her for leaving. Emotional cheating is weird. Like, where do you draw the line between feeling threatened in a monogamy and being controlling abusive? Not the cheater, but the one she was cheating with. We were caught by a co-worker at her cubicle after hours. She bribed the co-worker to stay quiet by giving her position as head of the office's party planning committee. This worked for a few months until there was a dispute over the way pita bread for a party was to be cut. He ratted out the girl in front of the entire office. I then had a duel with the fiancé registered sign, but we ended up both dropping the cheater. I told him I'd put off seeing him for a few days because I felt sick to my stomach over what I did and how I knew it was going to affect him. I also knew I had to tell him. It was one of the hardest things I've ever forced myself to own up to. And his reaction will stay with me forever. I wasn't the cheater, but my ex started to change in her behavior. Going out a lot more and dressing up a lot more. She was also on her phone a lot more. She took it to shower, to the bathroom, and just wouldn't put it down. Every time I heard a giggle, she said it was something on FB she found funny. One evening she came back after a night out and was talking about her evening with her friends, and her story and timings just didn't match up. The next morning, she jumped in the shower and left her phone on the side. I went through her phone and it confirmed my suspicions. Messages from a guy. Naked photos exchanged via messages. Photos of them f***ing and messages about me and how much of a loser I was. I kicked her out, and the next year I dealt with her continuous lies as almost every friend turned against me.